Florida State will attempt to clear.
Changing in transition is such an important part of lacrosse that you really just don't think about. South Carolina doing really good there. Get their LSM out there early, able to have 4, and now just swooshing him. Double team right in the center. Ball is down.
Really strong ride here by the Gamecocks. Desmond Patton trying to pick it up around midfield. Now Owen Brooksell looks like he got a stick in there. Excuse me, that was Chris Greenberg. Andrew Cook will eventually come up with it. And now South Carolina will slow it down and try to get their offensive personnel onto the field. Here comes Pat Riley onto the field. Ball is on the ground. Gunnar Wilson, however, will control and slow things down as the Gamecocks continue to get their substitutions onto the field. Ryan Vermeulen, the last of those subs. Andrew Pizzo will now control from the near sideline up to Vermeulen. And now Gunnar Wilson from the far sideline at the point. He's now into the restraining box. He'll skip it down for Johnny Stanton at X. Here's Stanton surveying what he has in front of him. He'll now go above Gioia along our near wing. Puts a swim move on his defender. Flag thrown by our near official. Stanton unable to get his hands free. Here's Sam Weiss from around the top of the restraining box. Stanton remains on the ground there as he flipped it all for Weiss. However, first goal of the game for Sam Weiss, the senior. He's got a hat trick now in back-to-back games, 2 points in each game this season now on his way towards that as well, Nick. Get his hands free. Flag came in there towards the end of that play, but a big goal there from Weiss.
Yeah, and Ryan, I was going to say exactly that. 2 flags. Hands got free. We're hearing that there's actually 2 flags on the play, but, I mean, that's exactly what you want from one of your best players, especially one of your best goal scorers. I mean, time and room. Stanton goes down, so it kind of creates a little bit of distraction, even though he was in pain. Weiss able to just rip it home. Gamecocks get an early lead as we hear now what the penalty call is.
As Nick mentioned, 2 flags thrown on the play. One was thrown on the defender covering Johnny Stanton there along our near sideline. Stanton then flipped it off for Sam Weiss. Weiss had his hands free, lefty shot. He was able to finish. Looks like the penalties will be waived off with the goal as South Carolina takes a 1-0 lead as we are 5.5 minutes through this first quarter. Again, as I said, beautiful day here in Columbia, South Carolina. Not a cloud in the sky.
Now the Gamecocks go back to Will Frith at the face-off X, which you got to feel confident in getting 1 goal up, and he wins it forward to himself right away. Ball still on the ground. Flipped it back for Guyton.
Will Frith has been phenomenal this season in 6 games. That was now his 101st face-off win. We missed his 100th face-off win there at the beginning of the game. 70.7% for Frith. We're expecting him to have a big game today as the Gamecocks throw it away. Florida State will take over from the near sideline around GLE.
And that's some of the things we saw against Georgia Tech.
Let's go, Ross!
Right now, not a penalty yet for the Gamecocks. It's still very early, but that's good to hear.
You want to get earbuds and make sure it's
those missed passes, those quick passes that, those need to be on the money every time. Overthrowing, now you lose an offensive possession, back on defense trying to get a stop.
Here's Florida State from the near sideline. First offensive possession in a little bit here for Florida State. Alex Gerdak. He'll now move it off to X. Ryan Farquhar will control. And now back up to the point for Dylan Barnes. Barnes will hand it off for Kyle Ross, sophomore from Caldwell, New Jersey. Has 8 goals and 8 assists on the season. He'll now pass it off for Barnes. Here's Barnes. Looked like he was about to get his hands free. He'll move it through X. Is now passed to the far sideline. Florida State moving it around quickly here. Dante Cloutier. His man will go to the ground. Thatcher Knox was in coverage. Cloutier's shot just over the bar. And it will go to the end line. Fast run out here along the far sideline. Bucky Dunevan, excuse me. He had some trouble there in the far corner as the ball didn't go out of play. However, now it looks like a Gamecock defender will come up with it and will clear. Looks like that's Will Lohoff-Gaida along the far sideline. He'll now move up for the attack. Donnie Ryan will now control. No carry through X.
And that was great defense by the Gamecocks. Shot went high, but they didn't give up on it. Backs it up. Dunevan behind, picked it out. Able to get some help. Got the second man coming in. South Carolina takes it over as we have a whistle.
We've got a lot of whistles here. Wind, big gusts of wind. I don't know if our camera almost flew over half. But big gust of wind there. Very, very windy. A beautiful day, but very, very windy today. And Florida State will take over here. Jake Scholl from the point. Florida State will continue to make changes. Now Cole, freshman, hand off. Corbin Blick, very strong defense coming out of the box. Almost forced a turnover there. Florida State. We are 9 minutes through this first quarter. South Carolina leads it 1-0. Florida State move it through X.
Getting a turnover now. He's the man on the ball right there on the dodge. What a great two-way defender too. Had 2 goals in the last game, but playing both ways.
There was a skip pass up to the freshman Garrick. He tried to put a dodge on his defender. However, he went down. Ball came out. South Carolina comes up with the ground ball, and now we'll look to clear through goalie Alex Petrich. Carolina will get their offensive personnel onto the field.
I'm glad they didn't make a call there. He got tripped up. Sometimes you see someone go down because he hit another man. You want to blow the whistle up. That's South Carolina now with the ball.
Here's a long-range shot from Andrew Cook. Looked like goalie Sarah McMahon got a piece of it. It's going to go to the sideline.
I got it.
Griffin for Carolina will win the run out to the sideline. He will keep possession. We're now 10 minutes through this first quarter. Still a 1-0 game. Carolina leads from a Sam Weiss goal. Gunnar Wilson will move it off for Ryan Vermeulen, who will move it through X4. Johnny Stanton, who had the assist on that Sam Weiss goal. Weiss will now carry along the near sidelines.
Now this is a great opportunity for South Carolina. Up 1-0. Get that second goal. They've had other chances, but mistakes on the passes and just dumb turnovers overall have kept them out of the game.
Carolina moving it around now. Here's Ryan Vermeulen. Gets past his defender, put a bounce shot on goal. McMahon gets a piece of it though, will parry it, and Florida State will come up with the ground ball and now running it in transition across midfield. Here comes Florida State, pushed from by Kyle Lesko. He'll move it off to start the transition. Ball is on the ground, however. Florida State will keep possession. And now both teams will look to settle, but Florida State trying to get something quick here off the unsettled situation. Shot was from Alex Gerdak, the sophomore, went off the side of the net. South Carolina will now clear. Here's Will Lohovgada in transition. Back and forth. Lohovgada will put a shot on cage. McMahon will come up with the save. Ball is still on the ground. And Florida State will come up with it and hand it off to McMahon.
Let's go, Barnes!
And right now, McMahon is having an amazing game in goal.
Great start to this quarter.
I mean, the thing is, as we've mentioned, I played goalie before when I was at the University of Tampa in high school. And those 2 saves, just to start off the game, the confidence building that he's probably gotten just from those 2, now he's using those to keep his team in it. When this could be a 3-goal game, 4-goal game at this point, now it's only 1-0 Florida State's right in it.
Ryan Farquhar controls for Florida State. They'll now move it up through the point. Here's Dylan Barnes. Get his hands free. Shot on goal. Sounded like it got a pipe. Ball will roll all the way out to midfield, and Carolina will come up with it. That's Donnie Ryan fighting for the ground ball. The ball is still on the ground. There's a big check leveled there from Florida State. Carolina will keep possession. As our officials trying to get everything situated here. 2:52 left in this first quarter. Carolina leads 1-0. As Johnny Stanton will control from the near sideline.
Ryan needed a man after that check. He had to get an attackman from the back. South Carolina. Griffin had it at the point, gives it down.
Here's Pat Riley wearing number 41 for the Gamecocks today. He's gets to his left, gets his hands free, shot on goal just off the mark. He'll bounce wide. Carolina will keep possession. Johnny Stanton will now control from X. He'll hand it off for Sam Weiss. Here's Weiss.
Giving Weiss a lot of room to work.
His pass for Ryan Vermeulen. Vermeulen was able to control it there. Here's a Carolina player along the near sideline, unable to control. Ball going to bounce. Florida State will take over.
Let's go, Ross!
Here's Florida State. They're going to push now in transition as they get the ball across midfield. And here's a skip pass across, trying to find Alex Hook for Florida State will skip out to the far sideline. Carolina will now take over. 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Carolina is still leading 1-0, trying to find that second goal. Here's Andrew Cook along our far sideline. Carolina will now slow it down and try to get that offensive personnel on Andrew.
I don't like that fast break by the Seminoles. I mean, he had a wide open run at the net. It was starting to get cut off, but had a better shot than he did pass. Passed it behind him, gets lost, and then rolls out. But now South Carolina with the chance on offense.
Here's Carolina on their offensive possession. Controlling it from the near sideline. Pass up for Corbett Glick. He'll control from the point. He'll pass it off for Weiss. Here's Weiss getting to his left. Behind the back pass, off the mark for Glick.
Another flag on the other side.
Flag comes in from the far sideline, so our near sideline as the play continues on the far sideline. Here's a shot from Pat Riley. That looks like it got knocked down on its way to the cage. And the flag will come in. We'll hear from our referee right now what it is.
2-7, flag, 1 minute.
It's going to be a slash against midfielder Michael Bohoros, grad senior from Wyckoff, New Jersey. Town over for me in North Haven, New Jersey, there at home. In Northern Jersey. Carolina will now get their first man-up opportunity here.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to say. Finally gets going the man up. I mean, in previous games, there's been a lot of man down for South Carolina. So it'll be good for them to get their man up in and see as the whistle blows dead.
It's Pat Riley who is on the ground as trainers run out there to approach him. Pat Riley did go down there on that shot attempt at the end of that last possession. Flag waving the play dead at the end of it. Looks like he's left leg, maybe his right leg. Tough here because it looks like Dermot Quinn is not out here on the field for today's game. I don't know if he's dressed or if he's not dressed, but he's on this man-up unit. Pat Riley's also on this man-up unit, so we'll see what head coach Peter Candela decides to do on this this next man-up opportunity. Minute 12 left in this first quarter. 1-0.
As we still fight the win here.
Yeah, stuff going around. Here's Carolina on the man up. Here's Stanton, Griffin as well. Here's the point. Now Stanton on the right leg. Now Connor Griffin. Down to the field and Carolina moving it around really nice. Here's a skip pass up for Stanton. His shot is off the mark. Carolina able to get there for the backup.
51 seconds. Oh, no.
Carolina will keep possession here on the man up. As we're now under a minute, 50 seconds left. Here's Gunnar Wilson. He'll pass it off for Johnny Stan. Here's Sam Weiss. Weiss's pass inside off the mark. Actually controlled by the Carolina player. However, whistled dead at the end of that play. To be a push called. Carolina will keep possession.
In South Carolina on that first run, I really like how they're working the man up, staying patient, looking for that open shot. Clock now at 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Here's a shot from Gunnar Wilson on the man up, still off the mark. Carolina will control. Connor Griffin, excuse me. Here's Gunnar Wilson from the point. From the skip pass. Big save from McMahon as Griffin also went down there on the shot. Florida State will now look to clear. 15 seconds left in the quarter as Florida State will try to get one more offensive possession in before the end of the quarter. 7 seconds and counting. As Florida State not really looking like they're going to try to get anything to end this quarter. As the first quarter comes to a close. Not much scoring, Nick. 1-0 as we wrap up the first quarter of action. Even though the players on the field still going at it. Look, yeah, they kept playing. They didn't care the quarter ended. They wanted to keep going.
Well, I would want to keep going too if I'm Florida State. I mean, the momentum that just shifted here in Columbia is insane. I mean, McMahon makes a huge save on the other end, and then if you watch, coming down on the other side, number 3 in white for Florida State, just bulldozing through the midfield and taking it in. Now, Florida State should start with the ball to start the second quarter. State has on their side.
We're going to take a quick break here in Columbia, South Carolina. Nick and I will be back on the other side of it with the rest of this first half as the second quarter gets started. We'll be back in a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here from Bluff Roads Field at the University of South Carolina as our two teams, Florida State, the number 23 team in the country according to the MCLA coaches poll, taking on the number 11 team in the country, the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. 1-0 score as we're about to get the second quarter started. As we've seen a pretty solid performance here from both these goalies. Nick, a former goalie being yourself, what is your biggest takeaway here? Sarah McMahon has had a handful of really big saves really to keep his team in it here in this first half.
Yeah, McMahon is what I'm noticing the most. I mean, he's the reason it's a 1-0 game. It could be 3-0, 4-0 in favor of South Carolina. Florida State's winning it because of how he is playing. And then a huge reason Florida State has this ball right now is him as well. A huge save at the end of that quarter. Now Florida State starts with it, and they can
I had no idea if
keep the momentum on their side.
Alex Petrus has also had a few big saves for Carolina, also had some help from a pipe there on the shot in the first quarter. The score remains 1-0 South Carolina. Florida State will start this possession without a face-off as they were man down to end the quarter. The penalty has been released, so we are all even as the ball is now on the ground on the far sideline, along the end line even. Florida State will come up with the ground ball. Here comes Alex Gerdak, his pass now for Dylan Barnes. Barnes will get inside, his shot though off the side of the net. Alex Petrus will get there and clamp on it. Now Carolina will look to clear. We'll pass down for Thatcher Knox. Knox will now look to carry it up himself. We'll pack across the field. And Tim Chigioski will clear for the Gamecocks. Up 1-0 now, a minute through this second quarter.
That's what we call a bomb goal on the side of the net. Gets all the monster cheer, and it actually got a lot of the Florida State people as well, and a few people on our sideline over here right next to the benches. People thought that went in, but on the outside, Petrus hasn't had to do much. South Carolina now with another possession, slowing it down, getting some different minis in here as well, changing things up. Haven't scored a goal in a pretty long time now. Trying to get another one in, get this to a 2-goal lead.
Here's Johnny Stanton from the far sideline. He'll now take it behind goal and move it through X. Here's Weiss at X. Defender forcing him to his right. For Florida State, that is number 21, Austin Persico. Weiss will now carry to his right, still at X. A couple cutters there. Javon Johnson trying to cut in. Here's a dodge from the point from the Gamecocks.
Florida State
Cut it
playing
back
good
to his
defense,
right.
forcing them on the outside.
Here's Johnny Stanton from X. We'll try to get to GLE. He'll be forced now behind the cage, though, again. Now to the far sideline, excuse me.
Timer!
Shot clock violation from the Gamecocks, and Florida State will now push it up into their own offensive end.
In South Carolina, just no awareness there. I mean, they were not aware of the shot clock, what needed to happen, and now another turnover for Florida State. Them going too fast with it, so now South Carolina gets a lucky second chance.
Yes, Florida State trying to pass it through into the attack. Pass was off the mark, and Carolina will take over. Trying to extend this 1-goal lead is the Gamecocks. Here's a pass from Petrus trying to find Sam Weiss up in the attack. is off the mark. Florida State will now look to slow clear it as both teams get their offensive and defensive personnel on the field respectively. Florida State getting their offensive players on Carolina, their defense, as we're approaching 3 minutes through this second quarter. Still a 1-0 lead for the Gamecocks. We got whistles, as it looks like the shot clock was not running. And now we're back to play. Florida State will control from the point. Dylan Barnes. So now handed off for Dante Cloutier, the senior. Cloutier will carry to his right from the point now down the right alley. His pass off the mark for Alex Gerdak. Carolina again taking over from a Florida State turnover.
And now Florida State, I mean, the turnovers once is like, all right, we're getting in the groove, but twice now, you got to tighten things up, just like South Carolina does. I mean,
now Carolina will turn it over at midfield. Gerdak right there on the ride, strong ride from the Seminoles. And now both teams again will get their respective personnel on the field for this Florida State offensive possession. Gerdak will take Roll guided behind. Big save from Alex Petrus. Kick save there. And now Carolina will move it up in transition. Chris Greenberger handed off for Corbett Glick. Glick will pass it off for Pat Riley, and Pat Riley will now slow it down. Carolina will try to get their offensive personnel onto the field. Riley will move it behind. Sam Weiss, who has our only goal of the afternoon. Beautiful afternoon here in Columbia, South Carolina. Ball will now be at the point.
I just want to see South Carolina make the passes on the stick like they are, keep the offensive possession, find the right shot. You do not want to defense.
There's Johnny Stanley, as long as they don't get a shot clock violation. Here's Corbett Glick. His shot is off the mark. Carolina will be awarded possession. Strong run out there from the Seminoles. However, possession awarded to Sam Weiss. Weiss will now take it from X. Push out inside. He'll get ahead of a step on his defender. Ball is on the ground though. Florida State will come up with it. Pass across the field. Kyle Lesko will control it though. And here's Lesko in transition. He'll take a long range shot. Skips it wide of the cage. Florida State, however, with the backup, they'll take possession.
Florida State is really trying to push in transition. That's what their game is right now. They don't want to set up. They don't want to pull it out. They're trying to get goals off of the fast breaks, which has resulted in 2 turnovers off the missed passes, and now a missed shot, but they were able to back it up, so now they could set up their offense and get a more sound offensive possession.
Here's C.J. Bennett, the junior. He's got 3 goals on the season up against Andrew Cook for the Gamecocks. Bennett's pass was almost off the mark, however, for Kuhar behind cage, able to control it. He'll take a pick from Bennett. Bennett will now control at X. His skip pass inside for Jake Scholl is off the mark. Ball now skirt to the far sideline, along the sideline. It looks like possession will be awarded to Florida State. They'll take it from the far sideline, now carrying it below GLE through X.
Florida State was looking in the middle to Scholl. South Carolina doing a good job to keep that ball down. Again, the flag thrown this time against South Carolina.
Scholl was able to get to the middle just outside the crease. His shot, though, looks like it got deflected by a Carolina defender. Bucky Duvenin will be flagged on the play, and Carolina will now go on the man down. 9:23 left in this first half. Carolina still leads 1-0, so Florida State will look to tie it up here. Still early in this game.
Seconds. Yeah, you got it?
All
right, thank you.
So now we don't want to see this become a trend for South Carolina.
Yes.
First penalty of the game.
Hey, I got time for you.
There's a lot left to play, and the last 2 games, penalties, dumb penalties, have been a decade which they lost. Could have changed that to a game without warning. Could have been even though it wasn't 6-goal win.
Here's Dylan Barnes from the top left. We'll pass it off for Dante Cloutier. Now Alex Gerdak from the far wing will move it off for 40! Now it's a long range pass from Alex Gerdak, trying to go from sideline to sideline. It sails over everybody. Carolina will now take over from our near sideline around GLE. They'll look to clear.
technically, based on possessions, that is the third straight possession where Florida State has given the ball up on a turnover over a missed pass. So they need to tighten things up on offense, make those simple passes. That was a skip pass, but keep that low. He didn't have to sky it over, as now South Carolina is on a break.
On the break, Johnny Stanton shot blocked by Shane McMahon. Florida State will get the ground ball and now looking to clear. Strong ride though from Jake Peretti. Dive there at the end, and now Florida State will control in their offensive end and get their offensive personnel onto the field. The penalty is released, so now we're back to all even.
Shane McMahon, it is his game, and they're all just playing in it right now. He is playing insane. I mean, Stanton seems like he had a one-on-one. McMahon goes to the ground, makes the stop, and now it's Florida State's ball. I mean, he's keeping them in this game. It's the reason it's only 1-0 right now.
8 minutes through this, or 8 minutes left, in this second quarter. We could absolutely see about 4 or 5 goals here from the Gamecocks. It is still 1-0 though, thanks to Shane McMahon. That was Dylan Barnes trying to get to the left. Here's Kyle Ross from the point. His shot saved by Petrich. Ball is on the ground, and Bucky Dunovan will come up with it for the Gamecocks. Low check though from Florida State. A late flag from our official here around midfield. The official right around the play did not call it. However, a flag came in from our official here at midfield. He will blow it dead. Looks like it's going to be a slash on Florida State. Looks like Carolina's about to go on the man up, however, still needing to clear.
And while Dunovan gets back up, I mean, I've been talking about McMahon, but Petrich coming right back with a great save of his own, and he's done that multiple times today. I haven't been able to mention it, but after McMahon's made a great save, and I've talked all about that, Petrich is coming right back and playing great for his team as well. So a real goalie battle here. South Carolina should take over this ball.
I got your time.
1 minute, yeah.
1 minute penalty against Florida State. So we go against Alex Hoop, the midfielder. Carolina a free clear, and they will now be on the man up. It's going to be Connor Griffin, it's going to be Gunnar Wilson, it's going to be Pat Riley, who now passes it off for Wilson. Sam Weiss, Johnny Stanton, and Trenton Wiley wearing number 43 today. Wiley will now control from below GOE. He'll pass it across for Weiss. Weiss trying to find Pat Riley inside. Pass was off the mark. Florida State initially came up with the ground ball. However, the ball is now on the ground. A lot of Carolina players in the area. Trenton Wiley will come up with the ground ball. Here's Sam Weiss trying to push some sort of transition here in the unsettled situation. There was a pass, or a shot, from Connor Griffin. Off the mark, Ryan Vermeulen, though, with the backup. 7 minutes left in this second quarter. 20 seconds left on the penalty. Carolina on the man up. Here's Sam Weiss. He'll pass it off for Pat Riley. Here's Riley. Looked like he was about to take a shot. He'll pass it up for Weiss. Weiss's skip pass inside from the point finds Ryan Vermeulen. And Vermeulen puts it in the back of the net. Carolina extends the lead to 2-0.
And what a play by South Carolina as a whole. I mean, Weiss, the patience, looks inside. Vermeulen with a great cut behind the deep hole, gets it right in front of the net. And then we've joked about this a lot, the things you practice in your backyard, and that's one of them. Little scoop shot in, gets it past McMahon. And if that's how you're going to score on McMahon today, that might be it. I mean, those weird shots, those shots you're not expecting, but with the way he's playing, it's only 2-0 right here, and it's almost the second half. So a very defensive game, but that's also due to the two teams having some miscommunication on passes and turnovers. So now a 2-0 game for South Carolina.
6:45 left in this second quarter, and here we go. We get to watch Will Frith, who has been very dominant through the first part of this season for the Gamecocks. Looked like he originally won the clamp. However, Will Couture for Florida State will come up with the ground ball. A late flag comes in around midfield right after the face-off. Looks like it's going to be against Carolina.
It should be against Frith.
Should be against Frith, as Nick's saying, as Will Couture able to pass it off, find some help, and now Florida State will look to get some kind of offensive possession together here before they'll look to go on the man up. Chris Greenberg, though, with some really strong defense out on Dylan Barnes at the midfield line. Didn't look like Barnes really was there. Greenberg strips him, comes up with the ground ball. Forces whistles, obviously, with the flag against Carolina. 1 minute. And Carolina will now serve the penalty, like you said, is going to be Will Frith there at the other end of that
Will
face-off.
Frith with a slash, loses the face-off. One hand slashes it. So he goes to the box. South Carolina now playing man down.
See what Florida State can put together here on this next offensive possession. Second man-up opportunity for the Seminoles.
50.
As we are now at the 6-minute mark in this second quarter. 2-0 game. Here's a shot from Kyle Ross from the near wing, just inside the restraining box. It is off the mark. Florida State, however, gets the backup. Alex Gerdak will take it from behind the cage.
Great job by Donovan to get his stick on that shot. Just rough.
40.
An open shot on Petrus from the left side.
Here's Dylan Barnes. He'll pass it off now to the wing. It's Dante Cloutier back up for Barnes. Here's Kyle Ross. He'll pass it down for Gerdak. His pass trying to get to the middle of the field. Off the mark. Ball is still on the ground, though.
20.
Florida State will come up with it. Ball is still on the ground. 20 seconds left in the penalty. Alex Gerdak for Florida State will come up with it on the far sideline. Now, Dylan Barnes from the point, looking to make the most of the rest of this man-up opportunity. Here's Barnes from the just around the restraining box. Shot off the mark. 4 seconds left in the penalty.
3, 2, 1.
Long range
Release.
skip pass.
Yes, release.
Inside for Ryan Farquhar. And Florida State will get their first goal of the afternoon and cut the deficit from 2 to 1. Carolina now leading 2-1 as Ryan Farquhar on the other end of that Florida State goal.
And honestly, the goal we just saw from South Carolina, both goals in the second quarter, the one we just saw from the Gamecocks and now the one we saw from the Seminoles, same kind of gist. I mean, they were working it from the outside, having men move off ball, and then a guy is loose right in front of the crease and dumps it away. So South Carolina and Florida State starting to find themselves offensively, I think, as Frith wins one forward to himself and gets the ground ball. So South Carolina now with another offensive possession to get this, hopefully for them, back to a 2-goal lead.
Frith now 3 of 4 on the afternoon. Has had a strong start to the season. He's looking to continue that today as Pat Riley will take it behind the cage. He'll move it off for Johnny Stanton, who's at X. Stanton will now carry to GLE, who'll now move it up through the point. Gunnar Wilson will control. He'll move it to Connor Griffin along the near sideline. Griffin will now carry behind the cage. His defender will go with him. Here's Griffin, gets to GLE, passed up for Ryan Vermeulen along the far sideline. Vermeulen will move it to Gunnar Wilson. Here's Wilson. Wilson will go down. However, Pat Riley will get the ground ball, and he'll run away from pressure. Here's Gunnar Wilson from the pass from Riley, and Gunnar Wilson finds the near bottom corner. And as you said, Nick, Carolina able to extend that lead back up to 2 as South Carolina leads 3-1.
There was no way that ball was not finding the back of the net. Gunnar Wilson went down, was not happy about it. Riley takes it.
4:18,
finds
4:18
Wilson again with even just a split second, open hands, and I was like, that's going. There's no way he was going to be denied that goal. Now 3-1, South Carolina leads.
For Florida State, the freshman Will Couture will be taking the majority of the faceoffs today. Vinny Mercandante, on the sideline with us, the senior. So it's going to be Frith against Couture. Frith wins another one easily to himself, pushing it in the fast break. Carolina will settle it down. That was Andrew Pizzo on the far sideline as Will Lohoff-Guida will control for the Gamecocks at the point. He'll pass it off for Connor Griffin, and Carolina will look to get their offensive personnel onto the field. It's Griffin, it's Corbett Glick, and now running on Trenton Wiley for the Gamecocks.
And this is where the face-off game really comes into play. Now you got a goal, you're up 2 goals again, get it right back, another offensive possession for South Carolina. So Will Frith making a big impact here as he always does.
Here's Corbett Glick from the near corner. He'll pass it off for Riley. Riley trying to get a step on his defender. He'll get a step on his defender. However, the ball came out. He'll retrieve his own ground ball. He'll now move it off for Wilson. Here's Riley, skips in the one, and McMahon comes up with a huge save on the other end of that shot. Florida State will come up with the ground ball as McMahon wasn't able to control it cleanly. And Florida State now across midfield. Successful clear, and now they will look to get their offensive personnel on the field. We'll have whistles. It'll be a timeout from the Florida State sideline.
3:10 left.
3:10 left in this first half.
3:10. 3:10
Carolina
left.
leads at 3-1
3:10.
as Florida
3:10
State will
left.
be
Yeah.
on offense here at the other end of this timeout. What do you want to see from Florida State here out of this timeout to try
First
to
off,
cut this
just
lead?
a huge save from McMahon. I mean, honestly, that's one he should have from the outside. Nonetheless, great because, I mean, we saw Riley cranking that up. He took about 3 hop steps before he actually took the shot. So what a save. But Florida State, now you have possession. It's your ball. You're down 3-1. At least with 3 minutes left, you can get this thing tied up by the half. So that's the goal right now, but it's got to be thinking about just the next one. They need to get one more, make it a 1-goal game, have a good offensive possession, get in, work it around twice, get a good dodge, and see what happens. Their first goal came off of a backside cut. Try doing that. More off-ball movement. Make sure you're not throwing away the ball. Last 3 offensive possessions before that goal were all turnovers. So just play smart and play calm here. It's only a 2-goal game.
In the age of the shot clock, which isn't that long of an age, shot clock introduced not too long ago to college lacrosse and just recently MCLA lacrosse.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
It's a game of runs, especially if you got a good face-off guy, as the Gamecocks have in Will Frith.
3-10.
Florida State, how they answer.
3-1.
We'll see what their answer is. A goal here would be huge, though. 3-1 score. Carolina leads with 3:10 left in this first half. Goals from Sam Weiss. A goal from Gunnar Wilson as well. Ryan Vermeulen able to find the back of the net. We'll see what Florida State has here as both teams taking the field. Again, 3:10 left in this first half. It'll be Dylan Barnes to control. He'll take it up to midfield and now will carry down the right alley. He's got a step on his defender, Tim Jagielski. He'll move it through X for Alex Gerdak. Gerdak will control behind. Back for Barnes.
Move it!
Barnes still holding from the near sideline. He'll move it back to X. Here's Gerdak. Tried to get a step above GLE. Got a shot on Cage, but it was knocked down on its way there. Florida State will control, though, from the far sideline. Here's Barnes. He'll carry 2X with his defender, Bucky Dunovan. Dunovan forcing him wide. Here's a forced shot from Barnes. Off the mark behind the cage. Florida State will keep possession, though, with the backup. 2:29 left in this second quarter. Looks like 26 seconds left in the shot clock.
And now they'll have to pick up the speed a little bit. Try and get this around, get it to the top. They like dodging from X, so see them doing that very often. Double team comes from South Carolina.
Quick
Try
double
the
team.
other side.
Quick double team as Parker Rowe is going against the shorty Andrew Cook. Ball is on the ground on the far sideline. A reset on the shot clock there. But Carolina will come up with it and now pushing down the far sideline. 2 minutes left in this second half. What do the Gamecocks have here? Jarrett Dargos will move it up for Andrew Cook at the point. Carolina will slow it down and get their offensive personnel onto the field. Connor Griffin will now control from the point. Here comes Trenton Wiley as well. Gunnar Wilson will be the third midi to come on here in a moment. 1:40 and counting left in this second quarter. Johnny Stanton will control from behind. He'll pass it up for Pat Riley along the near sideline. Here's Gunnar Wilson, who will carry to the point against his defender, Kyle Lesko. Here's a pass for Riley on the near sideline. Skip pass to the far sideline for Trenton Wiley. Wiley will find Pat Riley now at the point. Riley looking for something. He'll move it off for Wilson. Here's Wilson trying to get to GLE. He'll move it off for Stan at X. Stan will push along the far sideline. We're now controlling from the far wing. Minute left in this first half.
Staying on a short stick.
1
Let's see
minute
what
left.
Stan's got. Gets his hands free. He gets it to Pat Riley, and Pat Riley finds the back of the net and extends the Carolina lead to 3. On a pass from Johnny Stanton. Skip pass from Stanton from the point, found Riley just along GLE on our near sideline. Quick finish from Riley. Gamecocks now lead 4-1 with 58 seconds left in this first half.
And I love that possession from South Carolina. Find the mismatch. Stanton has a short stick. I mean, we see him dodge on long.
58 seconds left.
Easy decision there.
58 seconds
gives
left.
Stanton the green light to go. He does. The slide comes. Goalie's calling high.
58
finds
seconds.
The man in front. Puts it away on the other side. South Carolina now with a 3-goal
58.
lead. Biggest lead of the
Mr.
game.
Official.
Frith will have a new opponent at the face-off dot. It's going to be freshman midfielder Cole Gehring. And Gehring will come up with a big face-off win here with 55 seconds left in the first half. Florida State will get one more offensive possession here. And Florida State will use a very quick timeout.
50 seconds
Huge
left.
face-off win from Cole Gehring there to kind of stop the bleeding, slow it down here, get Florida State another offensive possession.
50
seconds
50.
left in this first half. Florida State going to try to put something together here to go into halftime with some momentum.
I mean, Ryan, we talked about this being a game of runs and how crucial the face-off X comes in. But Florida State proving that Will Fripp isn't invincible. I mean, they've beaten him twice already today. So the game of runs, yeah, it plays in the favor of South Carolina with the
50
winning
seconds
percentage
left.
Fripp has. But Florida State
4-1.
showing they can win the face-off too and go on a run of their own. Right now, getting a great timeout, try and get a goal to end this half and make it only a 2-goal game.
Carolina, we're going to be all even for this offensive possession that Florida State has coming up. Again, 50 seconds, shot clock will not be a factor here throughout the rest of this first half. Obviously, the 80-second shot clock, so 50 seconds left. Obviously, we don't need those 30 seconds. We'll see if Florida State can put something together offensively. We'll see what our Carolina Gamecocks have as an answer. They'll try to get their own offensive possession, I imagine, here, of their own. Definitely Carolina has a timeout remaining. They might have two, so we might see them use one here as we get towards the end of this half. Again, 50 seconds left. Carolina leads 4-1.
Now Florida State getting set up on offense. I'd see Ryan Farquhar or Andrew Zeman, one of the two of their highest scorers. Alex Gerdak as well. A lot of scores for Florida State. So Cloutier also at the top. Florida State should look to him to initiate the dodge as he's trying to pull people away right now.
Here's Dante Cloutier along our near sideline. He takes it below GLE. And now
35.
We'll look to get some sort of pick here from the bottom near corner. Here's Kyle Ross.
Under 30 seconds now. I get moving.
Ross against Andrew Cook behind the cage. Here's a shot.
20
From Alex Hoop from the point, was able to get his hands free. Florida State with the backup, they'll keep possession. 14 seconds, excuse me, and counting on
10 seconds, 10 seconds!
here in the first half. Here's Alex Gerdak from the near wing. He'll get a step on his defender, Lohov Gaida. Here's a pass inside, did not get there. Looks like Alex Petrus might have gotten a piece of it. Looks like it might have got a piece of the chain. The first half clock will expire with Carolina able to burn that last Florida State offensive possession. They will go into the half
4-1.
leading 4-1.
You can't reach shit.
Strong first half from the Gamecocks. Strong
4-1,
first half
4-1.
especially. I want to start with. I should start with those two goals. Sarah McMahon, Alex Petrus having a great start to this game this afternoon.
Yeah, both of them playing outstanding. McMahon, the reason the score's not way out of here right now, I mean, it's only 4-1. They're still in this game, and he's kept them there. Petrus answering right back with a few good saves here. Last possession by Florida State. I like the shot selection there. Just got to get it on cage, and if that's what we want to talk about going into the next half, that's what Florida State needs to do. They're getting shots. They're getting the offensive possessions. Some of them throwing them away.
Couple big face-off wins as well from some Florida State players that don't always take big face-offs. Vinny Mercandante, the primary face-off for the Seminoles, he is out of today's game, not playing. So Florida State trying to come up with some kind of answer for Will Fripp. He hasn't taken too many face-offs. We've only got 5 goals in this game, and we didn't have a face-off there to start the second quarter because of the penalty. So on the other side of this break, we've got the second half. The number 23 team in the country, the Florida State Seminoles, trailing the number 11 team in the country, the South Carolina Gamecocks. We will be back in about, 5-6 minutes here with the second half of this game. Stay tuned. Don't leave us. We'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here at Bluff Roach Fields at the University of South Carolina. My name is Ryan Holtzfuss. Alongside Nick Claus, we are here for the second half of this game. The number 11 team in the country, the University of South Carolina Gamecocks, leading the number 23 team in the country, both rankings by way of the MCLA coaches. 4-1 is the score as we are back for the second half. Will Frith, another big face-off win for the Gamecocks. Nick, and second half getting underway here.
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, a big face-off win there.
I got it.
He's not invincible, but still pretty good all the way around. So now South Carolina gets another possession here, leading by 3 goals, 4-1 here in South Carolina. As you see a dodge up top from Wilson.
Here's Gunnar Wilson, gets his hands free. Shot on goal, off the mark. Carolina will get there for the backup. We were talking before we went to the halftime break. Goalie Sarah McMahon for Florida State having a huge game, as here's Connor Griffin, his shot off the mark.
South Carolina's shot selection right now. I mean, I get it, it's fast-paced, it's moving, so sometimes you're just trying to get it on net. But right now, I really want to see them attack the offside of McMahon, go off hit, go to that low corner. A lot of these shots, he's playing outstanding, but a lot of these shots are right where he can make those saves. So put that low and away on the next shot. See if you can sneak one past him as now Florida State takes over possession.
Johnny Stanton was trying to find a midi at midfield here from the Carolina's offensive possession. Ball skirted all the way out though, his pass was off the mark. Florida State still trying to get into their offensive set as we're now 2.5 minutes, or a minute and a half, excuse me, through this third quarter. Florida State will slow it down and make sure they get their offensive personnel onto the field. Dylan Barnes controlling from the point. Will hand it off now for Kyle Ross.
Yeah,
And the Seminoles will continue to get their offensive personnel on the field. Here's Alex Gerdak down the right wing, tried to find Ryan Farquhar inside. Ball is still on the ground as Farquhar was unable to come up with the pass. Carolina will come up with it. That Stature Knox tripped up along the near sideline right by our substitution box. A quick flag thrown from our official along the near sideline, and the Carolina Gamecocks now to go up on another man-up opportunity, leading 4-1 as we're 2 minutes through this third quarter.
And a great,
Is that 30?
a great way for South Carolina to get up this half. I mean, up by 3 right now. Now a chance to go up 4, but an obvious penalty there. I mean, the attackman takes the last second check as he's crossing midfield, hits the ankle, he goes down. You saw me waving my arm, knew that was a flag all the way. So South Carolina with a man-up opportunity now. So now you just want to see them run this the right way, don't rush, take the right shot. I think you'll see probably Wilson take it from that right side. But we'll see how the Gamecocks shift around here.
It was the sophomore Kyle Ross who the flag was thrown against. Here comes another flag from our official behind the goal along our near sideline. Carolina still on the offensive man up. And Carolina will score. I was being told something from someone along our sideline. Nick, did you see who finished that goal off for the Gamecocks? As the flag is waved off, there was a flag thrown.
And I believe it was Wilson from the right side.
5-1.
Wilson or Griffin.
Scored? Who scored?
It was Connor Griffin.
Connor Griffin with the goal as we're getting affirmation. Sorry about that long break. Again, we're currently having difficulties with our camera, so we will roll on with just the audio as of right now.
But yeah, so Griffin actually ends up being the one winding up on the far side. I said Wilson, but they bring Griffin all the way over, and I thought initial save was made, but it trickles in South Carolina. Now up by 4 is 5-1, 12:31 remaining in this third quarter. Will Frith comes to take the face-off for South Carolina. Guida on the wing against the long pole for Florida State.
Quick technical difficulties. Camera is back for everybody watching and listening alongside us. A long tie-up here. Frith did come up with the initial face-off win. However, the ball is still on the ground. Still on the ground as all 3 players from both teams go at it. Now Florida State will come up with it, and pushing in transition is number 33, Ryan Healy, the junior. Florida State now will settle it down and get their offensive personnel onto the field.
And from what I'm seeing so far with Florida State, kind of wondering yesterday, oh, Cal Poly beat them. Not really exactly expected.
And in the fashion they beat them, especially
And in that
15-7.
fashion. But from what I'm seeing is it's a sound defense. And you wouldn't get that from allowing 15 goals against Cal Poly. But a sound defense with a good goalie, but the offense just not able to stick with the other teams. South Carolina getting a high number of shots, which is in their favor. Just, you know, you can have a great defense, but if you allow so many shots, some are going to go in. That's the way lacrosse is.
Absolutely. Goal numbers for both teams. Obviously a 5-1 game. Very low scoring. Here comes a flag along the near sideline. Looks like it's going to go against Chris Greenberg as Alex Gerdak now carries behind. Will take his defender Andrew Cook, number 2 in black, with him. And here's Gerdak at X. Put a move on Cook. Very quick help from Bucky Donovan. However, Gerdak was able to get away, get a shot on Cage. Looks like Alex Petcher was able to get a piece of it. Ball trickles out along the end line. And we will get a stoppage as a result of that flag. It's going to be a slash against Chris Greenberg. And it's going to be a 1-minute penalty. All right. So Florida State a one-man advantage. With 11 minutes left in this third quarter, down 4 goals. Need to see a goal here if you're a Seminoles fan.
And Candela coming over to his guy and saying, you're fine. Didn't run that call. Thought Greenberg was just playing hard defensively. But now Florida State does have the man-up opportunity. A long way to climb back now, down by 4 goals. But it starts right here. Run this right as South Carolina getting out on the hands.
45!
Here early in the man-up.
Bucky Donovan right there getting his stick right in on the hands of Dante Cloutier. Ball forced on the ground. Here's a shot from the outside. Jake Scholl, but Alex Petrush gets a big body on it. And Carolina will now come up with the ground ball. Long-range pass across the field to Donovan. A wide open Bucky Donovan. He'll now move it up to the attack. Carolina will get their offensive personnel onto the field. Might be able to take advantage of an unsettled situation here as Pat Riley takes it to GLE. He'll move it off for
15!
Donnie Ryan, who had trouble coming up with it off the immediate pass. However, able to come up with the ground ball. Now Pat Riley controls from the far sideline, just letting the penalty run out. Riley now carry 2X. Take his defender with him.
And now all even.
Now we're all even.
And just coming on that save from Petrie, I mean, he's a big goalie. He's big in that cage, but he uses it. I mean, it's not all about his stick for him. If he can put his thigh, his leg, anything in front of a ball, he's going to take it, eat it, and take the save with him. So, great save there by Petrie, and now South Carolina gets going on offense.
Here's Stan. A skip pass from X up to Corbin Glick at the point. Glick gets trying to get some room there. Thought he was going to get a shot off. Wasn't able to get his hands free. Here's Donnie Ryan. A big hit there from the Florida State defender. Shot clock winding down. Ryan Vermeulen gets a shot on Cage. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Carolina will hunt, if you will, here, try to get their offensive middies off the field, get their defensive personnel onto the field. Johnny Stan along the end line will let the shot clock run out. He'll toss it to the corner. And now Florida State will have to put together a full clear here. Still down 5-1, Carolina leading.
And South Carolina used that whole possession. They used the whole shot clock. A lot of that is trying to kill the penalty that was already there, waiting to get even. Again, running the offense, getting a good shot, just not on the mark. Florida State takes over, but South Carolina gets to set their defense. Florida State offsides. South Carolina takes the ball back. Stanton.
McMahon way out of the cage, puts a hit on Stan. Offsides there as our Carolina sideline here was calling for that offsides penalty. Now Florida State, though, on the other end of that turnover from Carolina, will get the ball into their offensive set. Alex Gerdak, the sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, will control from the near sideline. Against Tim Chigilski. Chigilski guarding him all the way out to the sideline. He'll come away with it. Chigilski now heads it off for Alex Petrush. Right along on near sideline. We're trying to see over coaches, over a couple helmets here. Carolina now looking to clear, though. Bucky Donovan will pass it up for Chris Greenberg. He'll now pass it up
and now after
for Pat Riley, and he'll control.
After that last broken possession South Carolina had, very quick, Stanton not able to get a shot off. McMahon comes out. Now South Carolina can settle it down, get their middies in as they're doing right now, transitioning from the box. And gets it up for Newland now at the point, and Wiley takes it up top to get things set up.
8 minutes left in this third quarter, just under 8 minutes. As Carolina now moving around. Johnny Stanton controls from X. He'll move up to the near sideline for Ryan Vermeulen, calling some shots here. He'll now dodge to the middle of the field to his right. Wasn't able to see anything. He'll pop it out. Finds Pat Riley. Now Johnny Stanton from X. Here's Stanton.
Stanton with the shorty on now. They're going to pull everyone over.
Yes. Here's Stanton. And tackled basically here by the defender who was covering him. Flag is on the ground. Ball will skirt to the sideline. It was the freshman Andrew Crosby from Florida State who practically tackled Johnny Stanton by the neck. Took him down. Very, yes. And all it is a 30-second hold. So maybe paid off there for Florida State. Carolina, though, will go up on the man up.
You think of it
About
that way.
7:19 left in this third quarter.
You take the penalty, now you're man down, but Stanton had a good shot at breaking past and being one-on-one with the goalie if he gets through that. So, yes, the penalty for Florida State, but maybe it was one they needed to take.
Here's Trent Wiley from the point. He'll move it off for Pat Riley to Sam Weiss, back to Riley, and now Trenton Wiley from the point. Now here's Johnny Stanton from GLE on the far sideline for Pat Riley. Now Trenton Wiley. Gamecocks moving it around. Here's Vermeulen for Trenton Wiley. Skip pass across. Pat Riley's shot sizzles wide of the bar. Late hit there on Riley's shot. Connor Griffin behind the cage will control. Got a couple whistles. Get the ball back to Connor Griffin, who'll start from behind the cage. Here's Griffin. To Sam Weiss, now for Pat Riley. Pat Riley will get a shot on cage. Looks like he got bounced, might have gotten a piece of a Seminoles defender. It did roll behind McMahon, who came up with it, and now Florida State looking to clear. Big hit, though, from Pat Riley on the far sideline. No flag on the field. Ball goes out of bounds along the far sideline. Pat Riley will take it.
What a ride.
And a pass now for Sam Weiss. Weiss with an incredible handle, one-handed handle around midfield. Gets his hands free to his left, and he finds the back of the net. Carolina extending the lead now to 6-1.
That is why you don't give up on a play. You don't give up on a ride. And Pat Riley shows you why right there. The ride is so important because you can get that ball back, a huge hit, give South Carolina possession, get it to your best shooter, and Weiss puts it away. Now South Carolina up by 5, biggest lead of this game, and they're feeling good.
Hell yeah. Carolina extending their lead back to 5 as the Gamecocks lead 6-1. Will Frith back out there for another face-off against freshman Cole Gehring. Gehring has won a face-off today against Frith. And Frith wins a quick one. We'll see if he can come up with the ground ball, though, as looks like Florida State from the wing. Florida State will come up with the ground ball. It's sophomore defenseman Travis Lesko who'll carry through midfield, and now Florida State will look to settle, get their offensive personnel onto the field, trailing 6-1 with 6 minutes left in this third quarter. Ryan Farquhar will have it now at X, settling it as Florida State continues to get their offensive personnel onto the field. Alex Gerdak, Dylan Barnes, 2 late substitutions for the Seminoles in white. Barnes will control now from the point against Andrew Cook. Barnes will get a step, get his left hand free. His bounce shot skips wide of the cage. The Seminoles will keep possession.
They call it
And
Gamecocks
now,
ball.
official on our near sideline going to award it to the Gamecocks. And Bucky Dunavant from the near sideline will clear. He'll send a long-range pass across the field for Chris Greenberg, who will now look to clear. He'll find Will Lohofgata at midfield. Lohofgata above midfield. And it's now Andrew Cook who will pick up the ball. Sam Weiss will now come to midfield and get it. Big body Sam Weiss. It looks like Carolina will now be able to take their time. Here's Corbett Glick, though. Maybe a little bit of an unsettled situation. He'll hand it off for Jake Peretti, who will hand it back to Glick. And here's Gunnar Wilson as Carolina able to get the rest of their offensive personnel onto the field.
Sorry, Ryan. That was great job by South Carolina not to get lost in the chaos, if you will, and wait for things to settle down, as now a good dodge from Wilson from the top to get things started on offense.
Being patient on that clear sets up this offensive opportunity. There's Connor Griffin from the outside on the run. Not sure if that got knocked down before getting to Sarah McMahon or if McMahon came up with that save. Florida State will now look to clear with 4:30 left in this third quarter. Carolina leading 6-1. And Florida State will manage to clear.
Yeah, that was a clean save by McMahon. So now Florida State gets it. I want to see Gerdak more involved in this offense. I mean, one of their top scorers, not in right now, but I want to see him get more involved. As I said earlier, Florida State just really lacking offensively. South Carolina has taken over this game and really taken away their chances. And when they even get one, Petrish is there to make the stop. So South Carolina doing well on defense, keeping Florida State at bay.
Gerdak with 2.8 points per game and 8 points this season, and even 12 goals, 11 assists. However, he is not on the field for this Florida State offensive possession. There was a pass inside, looked like it was for Dante Cloutier. His shot, though, saved by Alex Petrish, and now Tim Chigilski will come up with the ground ball and take it into the to the near corner behind the cage, though. He'll find Alex Petrish, and Petrish will now move it up into the midfield. Javon Johnson now at midfield will take it and move it up to the attack. Carolina trying to get a chance here on the unsettled situation. Jake Peretti was able to get a chance as goalie Sarah McMahon, trying to recover, got a save on that shot from Donnie Ryan, I believe. We'll have whistles on the far sideline. Looks like Carolina will keep possession here with 3 minutes left in this third quarter. 6-1 game, as Ryan Vermeulen will now take it from the point. He'll pass it off for Trenton Wiley. Here's Wiley.
3 minutes
down
left.
Right out. He'll get his hands free and get a shot off. And Trenton Wiley, bounce shots go, finds the back of the net, beats Sarah McMahon. And Carolina able to extend the lead now to 7-1 with 2:58 left in this third quarter.
And that was just a great shot. Dodging down the alley, gets his hands free, takes it. And I talked about South Carolina giving McMahon a lot of shots he could save. That was a harder one to save. He's a lefty, puts it on his own.
7-1.
Corner. I mean, at that point, he's lightning fast as to get a stick over or put his body there. So that's a great place shot right there by Riley.
Back to the face-off egg. It's Cole Gehring versus Will Frith. Will Frith, formerly of Towson University, spent his freshman season there. Now with the Carolina Gamecocks, has a couple huge performances this season, both away, home. Gehring comes up with the face-off victory. And that was actually not Will Frith out there for that face-off. That was Kevin Wynn. Carolina awarded the possession, though. Sam Weiss will have it. He'll pass it off for Pat Riley. Pat Riley will move it through X for Andrew Pizzo.
I don't think people really realize how much taking face-offs puts on your body, but you can't have Frith out there every time. Kevin Wynn able to go out, got his first collegiate face-off win the other night, so now he's getting some reps. But South Carolina with two good face-off guys they can go to.
Especially in his 7-1 game, trying to continue padding the lead. There's Kevin Sansone, was able to get his left hand free. Shot was saved by Sarah McMahon. Ball is still on the ground. Now the ball kicked out to the edge of the restraining box. There was a pass from Pat Riley for Andrew Pizzo. Pizzo's shot rings off the bar. Ball was on the ground. Pat Riley comes up with it, and he finds the back of the net for the second time today. Carolina now extending the lead to 8-1 with 2 minutes left in this third quarter.
And Ryan, I used the word sloppy to describe this game earlier when it was 1-0. South Carolina and Florida State both just not playing well. Now South Carolina is on a roll, one after another, just putting them behind McMahon. And like I said, McMahon's having a great game, but when you're getting shelled shot after shot after shot and he's making saves, you're not going to save them all. It makes it 8-1. South Carolina with 2 minutes left in this third quarter.
Kevin Wynn back out to take this face-off for the Gamecocks. Cole Gehring will come away with the face-off victory, though. Florida State trying to do something there on a somewhat of an unsettled transition situation. However, the pass was knocked down. Florida State will come up with the ground ball and control. Here's a quick unsettled situation. That was Harrison Gottlieb, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Picks up the ground ball on our near sideline right by our Carolina bench. Picks up the ground ball, gets a step on his defender, gets right into the crease. And Gottlieb finishes, cuts the Gamecocks lead now to 6 goals with 1:43 left in the third quarter.
And if that's how you got to score, that's how you got to score. I mean, the setup offense hasn't been working. South Carolina
1:43 left.
creating disruption, knocking the ball down.
Yep.
But pick up the ground ball, take out the trash, put it away, and get on the board. So now that lead is a little less to overcome. Still 6 goals and a face-off win again by the Seminoles. But South Carolina staying on it and playing well today.
1:30 left in this third quarter. 8-2 Carolina lead as Dan Bishop was out there to take that face-off for the Gamecocks. Florida State comes up with the ground ball. Long-range pass across the field as Florida State will settle it down, try to get all of their offensive personnel onto the field. Kyle Ross will control, hand off now for Barnes as Alex Gerdak also steps onto the field. He'll step across midfield and Florida State will try to get another goal in the back of the net here.
1 minute
left in this
remaining.
third quarter.
1 minute remaining.
8-2 is the score, Carolina leading. Here's Kyle Ross from the far wing up against Connor Balcom for the Gamecocks. Ross able to get his hands free. And Kyle Ross finds the back of the net for Florida State, able to cut the lead now to 8-3 Carolina.
And a low shot gets past Petrish on his offside to that low corner. He's a righty, so that bottom left corner. In Florida State, I was just about to say, I mean, going into the fourth quarter with a 5-goal deficit is much better than going into the quarter with a 6-goal deficit. Did it right here. They've been able to win the faceoffs, and now Frith back at the faceoff X because South Carolina needs this one.
Florida State, 2 straight goals here to close this third quarter. Carolina rolling out Will Frith to try to win a possession here and stop the bleeding. Frith will win the clamp. Let's see if Carolina can come up with
40
this
seconds
ground
left,
ball.
40 seconds.
And they will. Frith coming up with his own ground ball. He'll move it off for Pat Riley. 35 seconds left in this third quarter. We'll see if Carolina
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Something up here before we close out this third quarter. Connor Griffin will now control from the point as Carolina gets their offensive personnel.
20
onto the
seconds,
field.
20
Corbett
seconds.
Glick and Kevin Sansone as Pat Riley cuts to the net. His bounce shot off the mark. Run to the sideline, Andrew Pizzo, as well as the
14
State
seconds, 14
defenseman.
seconds.
They gave it to South Carolina, but honestly, I don't know about that. I thought Florida State made a diving effort.
Blow the whistle, blow the
I
whistle.
thought they got to it, but it's South Carolina's ball.
It was Travis Lesko with the
13
run out
seconds.
with 10 seconds
10,
remaining now in this
9,
third quarter. Andrew
8.
Pizzo forced a shot inside. There's Corbett Glick with a shot on the run to his right side.
7 seconds.
We get a
7
whistle
seconds,
from
7
our official
seconds.
on the near sideline. He's going to award possession to Florida
7
State
seconds.
with 7 seconds left in this third quarter. Again, an 8-3 lead for Carolina. A long-range pass from Florida State. A skied pass, actually. Carolina will come up with the interception, however. It'll end the quarter as a shot from our Carolina defenseman here across midfield hit the post of the Florida State goal. Shot did come after the buzzer, but a valiant effort there from Carolina as we're going to head into this fourth quarter, Nick. 8-3 Carolina lead here from Bluff Roads Fields on this beautiful
8-3.
Saturday afternoon. Florida State trailing by 5 here. Obviously going in with some momentum after these 2 goals.
I mean, they better hope Will Frith isn't at the faceoff X. That's the major thing because South Carolina was using some of their backups. We saw Kevin win in there, Ben Bishop, but when Will Frith's out there, he's winning faceoffs, and that's when we started to see Florida State go on their short run. They were scoring, winning the faceoffs back, getting other opportunities, which is great for them. But once Frith gets back out there,
8-3, baby.
lose the
8-3.
face-off. So that's going to be a big thing. They hope he is not out there. Keep him off as much as they possibly can, even though that's out of their control. But then win on offense, make smart decisions, have a good dodge, be moving off ball. That's such a crucial thing. Don't be stagnant. Move off ball, get open for your man, and find some open cutters.
The number 11 team in the country, the South Carolina Gamecocks, lead this one 8-3 over the number 23 ranked team in the country, the Florida State Seminoles. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break as our teams run onto the field. We'll be back in moments with the fourth quarter of this game. much faster break, ladies and gentlemen, than we expected as Florida State comes up with a big face-off win. Cole Gehring again, that time against Frith. Florida State got a shot on cage, but it was saved by our new Carolina goalies, Luke Constantino in cage for the Gamecocks. Seminoles will keep possession. Florida State in white, Carolina in black. The start of this fourth quarter, Carolina leads 8-3.
And I guess South Carolina either likes their lead a lot, wanted to give Constantino some reps, or they didn't like that those back-to-back goals that Petrus let in. Either way, a new goal in for South Carolina. Florida State with the ball, still with momentum here after winning a face-off against Pitt.
Here's an outside shot from Florida State. It was from Alex Hoop, the senior from Vero Beach, Florida. He's got 4 goals and 7 assists on the season, averaging 2.2 points per game. Now Ryan Farquhar will take it from X. There's Farquhar, who now moving back to X for Kyle Ross. He's got a couple goals on the afternoon. Here's Ross against his defender. Defender able to get a stick in there. That was Will Guy, the Gamecocks captain. Able to get a stick in there on Ross. It looked like he was about to take a shot attempt. Here's a pass for Alex Gerdak, who found some space in the middle of that Florida State offense. And he beats Constantino to his stick side, or his off-stick side, as Florida State cuts the deficit from 8-3 to 8-4 with 13:34 left in this fourth quarter.
And like I said, Ryan, I wanted to see Gerdak get more involved. One of the best offensive players on this Florida State team. Wasn't on the field last time on their last offensive possession. On the field now, puts it away. So I want to see him get even more involved. See him, start the offense with some dodging from the point. Great shot there at time and room on a new goalie who hasn't seen only one save so far. So now Florida State back in and another face-off. Frith loses it. Florida State comes away.
Goal.
Still all over the
Ball
place.
is still on the ground. Chris Greenberg will come up with it. Took a big shot, big check, I should say, at the on the other end of his pass. His pass did not make it to Will Frith, who he was trying to find at midfield. Florida State will come up with the ground ball, and Florida State will now get their offensive personnel onto the field on a 3-goal run here, Nick. It was 8-1 just about 10 minutes ago. It is now 8-4. Carolina is still leading. Here's Dylan Barnes from the near wing against Connor Balcom. The help will come. Now here's Kyle Ross against Thatcher Knox. Ross will take it to GLE, now cut up back towards the middle of the field. The pass for Barnes. Here's Alex Gerdak from the far side of the field. He'll get his hands free, and he'll beat Luke Constantino. A bounce shot, bounced up into the top corner, the far corner, from where Gerdak was driving down along that alley.
And now Gerdak's going. I mean, he's got the confidence now. Already 2 goals. Now on a comeback, South Carolina now only leading by 3. We talked about that
12 minutes and 45
That'll help both teams. He's taking faceoffs. Well, he's taking them, but Florida State's winning them. And they're getting the ball back after each possession and going on a true run here. So now South Carolina has to protect this lead.
Most importantly, even how I see it, being a former midfielder, a guy that I played on a ton of wings, these Florida State, they're just they're causing mayhem on these faceoffs as a violation against Will Frith will give Florida State a possession here, free possession. As Florida State will get their offensive personnel on the field, making it very difficult. Frith able to get the clamp, win the clamp, but then the change really has been good. Getting Gehring in there, he's a big body, able to cause some, usually you see them put a long pull out there, just cause mayhem, cause chaos, get those wings involved. Cole Gehring able to do it today. Here's Alex Gerdak, who's been hot here over the last couple minutes as Florida State is on a 4-goal run as we're now approaching the 12-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Ryan Farquhar has his defender Bucky Dunavant hung up. Here's a skip pass to the point. Bounce shot goes over the cage. Looks like that bounce shot came from Dylan Barnes. Florida State will get the backup.
And a big thing, Ryan, is Gehring's also showing that you don't need to win a clamp to win a faceoff. I mean, he's winning it the hard-nosed way as Florida State is now pushing in on the other side. South Carolina with a quick double team. pull away.
That was Harrison Gottlieb. He got the scoring started in that third quarter with that first goal of this 4-goal run for the Seminoles. Here's Kyle Ross from the far sideline, dodging down the alley to his right. Using the pass it through X. Here's a pass for Gerdak now. Gerdak trying to get a shot off with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Carolina will come up with it though. It's Tim Chigilski clearing it through midfield. He'll now leave it off on the ground for Thatcher Knox. Thatcher Knox will pass it for Andrew Cook. Andrew Cook pressured here all the way out to midfield. Carolina now trying to take advantage of an unsettled situation, leading 8-5 with 11 minutes left in this game. Johnny Stan will pass it for Gunnar Wilson. Now Trent Wiley, and now Ryan Vermeulen from the near sideline down the near wing. He'll pass it through X for Jake Peretti. Peretti, a long-range pass for Connor Griffin. Here's Griffin. Tried to find Trent Wiley. Ball went on the ground. Wiley runs over and picks it up. Here's Sam Weiss now from the near sideline. He'll pass it up to the point for Wiley. Here's Griffin. Dodging to his right. He again tried to pass it off. Was unable to get rid of it. Ball is now on the ground. Big check comes in as the ball was on the ground. Wiley came up and scooped it up. They are awarding possession, though, to Florida State.
10-20, 10-20.
Looked like the hit came against Wiley. Big hit now laid on the sideline as Johnny Stanton sends a big body.
And that's a huge effort play to get the ball back for South Carolina. Now another offensive possession.
Second big ride we've seen from Stanton. Lane putting his body on the line, keeping possession for his team, up just 3 goals.
10 minutes.
Obviously allowing 4 unanswered as we have now hit the 10-minute mark in this
10.
fourth quarter. Here's Trent Wiley from the near sideline. He's going to move it off for Weiss. Weiss will pass it off for Peretti at X. Here's Connor Griffin. Gets a step on his defender, and he sneaks that one under Sarah McMahon. And Connor Griffin with a huge goal here in this fourth quarter extends the lead for the Gamecocks from 3 back up to 4.
And South Carolina now starting to find their groove again after that run by Florida State. But Griffin not getting a traditionally double team, but a lot of pressure on him. They knew he was going to be the one activating the dodge, and as he would, he'd get knocked off. But two dropped balls, I don't want to say full turnovers for him. And then finally, on that last try, getting it away wide open. I mean, he could pick his spot there all day. Now, a 4-goal lead for South Carolina.
Frith and Gehring back out at the face-off X. A good battle right there as they are tied up for a little bit. Florida State will come up with the ground ball. Florida State will get their offensive personnel on the field. Carolina will attempt to get their defensive personnel on the field as Ryan Farguvar controls along the near sideline. He'll now carry 2X matched up with Bucky Dunovan. Here's a pass inside. It was Farguvar who was able to get that shot off there. Constantino did block it. Ball was on the ground. Carolina comes up with the ground ball, and they will now look to clear. Long-range pass here from our near sideline does find Chris Greenberg. That pass came from Jared Dargish. Carolina will now look to control and settle and get their offensive personnel onto the field. Ryan Vermeulen comes on. Javon Johnson comes on as well. Johnson will now hold at the point. Gunnar Wilson is now the recipient of Johnson's pass. The Gamecocks in black, leading this one 9-5 with 8:30 left in this game. Here's Gunnar Wilson.
9-5, 8:30
Wilson's
left.
got the shorty. Now Vermeulen.
Vermeulen also against the shorty. He's going to back his way in. He'll pass it to Stanton at X. Here's Stanton. The near wing for Peretti. Now Wilson from the point. Wilson trying to find a pass. He'll find Vermeulen. Vermeulen off his back foot, forcing a shot there. Johnny Stanton will be there for the backup. He'll now control at X.
Yeah, I don't like
Take
that.
it up to his right wing. We had whistles come in. Stanton, however, got a step on his defender and got a shot off. Looked like he also scored. He stayed down the field for a little bit. However, he's back up on his feet now. Looks like they will award possession to Florida State.
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, Stanton had a good offensive move there. Would have been a goal. Got past McMahon, but the whistle blows. So now South Carolina.
Good
Now
to
going
clear.
the other way,
Big,
actually.
big turnover here in the middle of the field. It's Thatcher Knox making his way up into the Gamecocks offensive end. However, ball goes on the ground. Florida State does come away with a big interception there from Thatcher Knox. Had a quick fast break opportunity. Ran into a couple Florida State defenders, ball went on the ground. They come away with it. It's now Dylan Barnes from the point, who will
7:25.
control for the Seminoles in white. And now Alex Gerdak dodging down the left alley. He'll get the stick back in his right hand. Pass for Kyle Ross. Kyle Ross with a bounce shot, and it beats Luke Constantino to his off hip on that bounce shot. And again, Florida State cutting the Gamecocks lead back down to 3.
And that's a good shot. I mean, that shot from the outside, a little far from the cage. Constantino had a lot of time to react, but just didn't get over in time. Offside, so good placement. But Constantino probably does want that one back just because of how far out it was. When I was playing, you always 15 putts around that 15-yard mark. You're like, you know, I got that, so he'll probably want that one back. Now trailing only by 3, Florida State, so we have a game here.
9-6 game, 7:15 left in this fourth quarter. Frith comes up with a big face-off win, pushes it to himself. There was a long-range pass as Frith went to Stanton to his left. Stanton then a long skip pass across the restraining box, finds Sam Weiss. Sam Heiss with his left hand free, finds the back of the net. I believe his second goal of the afternoon.
10-6, Carolina,
Carolina
7
now
minutes
into
left.
the double digits with 7:08 left in this game. 10-6 score. Third goal for Sam Weiss, as I'm being told. That is a hat trick, again extending Weiss's streak. He's now got a hat trick in 3 straight games. 2 points now in each game. This streak continues. 7:08 left in this game. 10-6 Carolina lead.
I think us calling games is a good luck charm for Sam Weiss. The 3 games we've called, he has a hat trick in all 3 of them. But just a great play. I mean, what a look from Stanton. That skip pass, you were kind of saying, oh, it's a far skip pass because, you know, it was a wild one. You didn't really expect it. Finds him. Weiss able to flank it and just over the head of McMahon. So just a great shot and an even better pass.
I'd love to give us those props, but on the road, Weiss does have a hat trick against Virginia Tech, and then 6 goals and an assist at Chapman out in Arizona back in late February. Will Frith came up with a big face-off win. Carolina comes up with the ground ball. Gunnar Wilson will now control
6:38
the near
remaining.
sideline. He will move it through X to Pat Riley, who will swing out to the far sideline, and now Corbett Glick from the point. 6:30 left in this game. Gamecocks lead 10-6. Here's Johnny Stanton from X. He'll move it for Pat Riley. Pat Riley trying to put a move on his defender, trying to get his left hand free. He'll now settle it. Went to Connor Griffin at the
6:15
point.
left,
It's
buddy.
now Corbett Glick. Glick will pass it back to Griffin. Griffin will get a step on his defender. Big save from McMahon as Griffin was able to get his hands free and get a shot on Cage. A run out to the far sideline. Corbett Glick was there. Kyle Lesko was as well. However, possession awarded to Glick. Glick, a quick pass inside for Stanton. His shot is fired wide. However, the Gamecocks will keep
5:59
possession.
left.
Fresh shot clock as we're also under 6 minutes here in this fourth quarter.
And just a fantastic save by McMahon. I mean, that was one that you probably shouldn't have had, and he got it. So what a save by him. He's the reason it's not 5. And right now, then a turnover by South Carolina.
Looks like it was Connor Griffin trying to find somebody at X. An attackman at X. His pass was off the mark. Florida State will now take over and look to clear. Down by just 4. We are inside 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 40 seconds, and counting as Florida State will look to clear. Here's a long-range pass across midfield. The ball is on the ground. A lot of black jerseys in the area, a lot of white jerseys in the area. Coming up with it is Kyle Lesko for the Seminoles. He'll now take it across midfield. A late flag comes in. Looks like it's going to be against the Gamecocks.
10-6.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I heard a stick hit on it.
10-6.
So,
Here's Kyle Ross. He'll move
About
it
5 minutes
now
left,
for
bud.
Alex Gerdak at the point with the flag down and likely to go against Carolina. Down by 4 is the Seminoles as we're now under 5 minutes. Here's Dylan Barnes from the point. Guy has a short stick matchup against Corbett Glick. Bucky Dunovan, though, comes over with the quick help. Here's Kyle Ross, also against a shorty. It's Willow Hovgaida. Ross gets a shot off, bounce shot, but Constantino gobbles that one up. And then the whistles come in as the flag is down.
10-6, 4:43 left.
We're about to see who it's going to come against. It's going to be a slash against Johnny Stanton, the attackman for Carolina.
4:43.
Excuse me, it is not Johnny Stanton. It is LSM long stick Kate Snyder for Carolina. So Carolina will go down on the man down. Florida State down by 4 goals with 4:43 left in this game, hoping to cut that deficit. A goal would be big here if you're a Seminole fan or obviously a part of this Seminole program.
It would be huge. In South Carolina, we've talked about
10-6, 4:30 left.
Right now is exactly when you don't want to give up a penalty. South Carolina needs to play sound defense, get in that box and one, see if they're stringing the guy. Right now it looks like they're playing straight up, just a box, 3 up top, 2 down.
How much time left in the penalty?
Here's a pass for Kyle Ross. Now Ryan
How much time?
will take a couple steps above GLE. We'll find Hope. Here's Farquhar again. Really good, strong defense from Bucky Duneman, going all the way out with Farquhar. Here's Cloutier. We'll pass it off for Gerdak. Now Hoop at X. Here's a skip pass back to Gerdak, and Gerdak will sting the top right corner, the off stick corner from Luke Constantino. A beautiful shot from Gerdak, and that'll now cut the Gamecocks lead to 3 goals with 4 minutes left in this game. 4 minutes exact. Carolina leading 10-7.
Gerdak, I said earlier, was the missing piece to this offense. That he wasn't as active as I'd like to see him. Well, now he's active. He's got a hat trick, and he is a huge reason. They went on an earlier 4-goal run, and now they're only within 3. So this face-off is huge for both teams.
Florida State was trailing 7-1 with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. 4 minutes left now in this game. It is 10-7 Carolina. Florida State waking up here in this second half. Managed just 1 goal through the first about 40 minutes of this game. Frith will come up with the face-off win. However, it looks like the officials will blow it dead and they'll award Florida State with the possession. It's going to be a free clear for Florida State. And we're going to have a timeout
3
on
minutes, 50
the
seconds
sideline.
left.
Florida State
3 minutes, 50
with
seconds
the
left.
timeout. 3:51 left in this game. It is a 10-7 South Carolina lead. Ladies and gentlemen, for Ryan Holzbus and Nick Claus, we'll be back in a couple of moments on the other side of this timeout with the remainder of this game. Do not go anywhere. We will be back. Tight game here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Timeout called. 3 minutes.
We are back here from Columbia, South Carolina at Bluff Roads Field, just down the street from the University of South Carolina, across the street from Williams-Brice Stadium, the home of the South Carolina Gamecocks football team. As Florida State with 3:51 trailing by 3, 3:51 left in this fourth quarter, will start this possession out of the Florida State timeout. As that was Dylan Barnes taking it from the point, went all the way along the near sideline, then was able to dodge towards the crease. His shot on goal is off the mark. We had a run to the sideline, and it is awarded to Florida State, and then a late flag comes in.
3:33.
And that's looks like he mouthed off or something. Play wasn't happy with the call. And this is what hurt them against Georgia Tech.
1 minute.
I mean, these penalties, the late penalties are necessary.
3:30
Now
left
you're a man down, and it could be a 2-goal game if they
You
get one in block.
Absolutely, and these are the penalties
1 minute.
that hurt. The 1 minute penalties. 3:33 left in this game. Again, 3-goal lead for the Gamecocks. It is 10-7.
3:30.
Florida State again hoping to cut the deficit here. Here's
South
Kyle
Carolina
Ross.
looking for a big save from Constantino here. Big save, get it clear, get it downfield, play the keep away game for a little bit. Get this penalty over.
Dylan Barnes will control from the point. He'll pass it off for Cloutier. Here's Alex Gerdak.
40.
The pass back to Cloutier. Back to Gerdak, and now to GLE for Alex Hook. Skip pass for Kyle Ross. Now pass down to GLE, back to Ross, and now back to Gerdak at the point. Hook on the far sideline. Dylan Barnes, he'll carry, pass it back to Hook at the point. He'll get his hands free, and a big save from Luke Costantino. And the Gamecocks will come up with the parried ground
15.
ball. It will now look to control. We are under 3 minutes.
10,
2:40
9,
left
8,
in this
7,
game as
6,
the penalty is
5,
now winding down.
4,
Carolina
3,
will look to
2,
control now in their
1,
offensive
release.
end across midfield. It's Connor Griffin who will carry it to the far sideline. Penalty is released. We are now all even for this final 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Carolina in black leading Florida State 10-7 here in this fourth quarter.
And Ryan, that's exactly what South Carolina needed. A big save from Constantino and to kill that
As you
1 minute
predicted.
penalty.
Yes.
And that's what they needed right there. Constantino gets it. They play keep away game. It's released. Now all even and a chance to make this a bigger lead going into the last
2 minutes remaining.
Here's
2
Ryan
minutes
Munoz
remaining.
from the point against a shorty. He gets a step on his defender. Will not go for the shot though. He'll pass it to X for Johnny Stanton. Here's Trenton Wiley. He'll get a step and get a shot off in kind of in an awkward manner. Able to get that one to find the back of the net. However, Wiley will stay down, and players on the field motioning for trainers to run out onto the field. Trenton Wiley though on the other end of that goal. However, he is still staying down as officials out there to help him. Big hit at the end of that shot. Gamecocks though, as of this moment, we'll find out from our officials. Looks like they did just extend the lead to 11-7. We'll find out from them.
Yeah, I mean that was a scary hit.
Still
right
a
there.
scary situation here as Trenton Wiley still on the ground. Trainers, coaches huddled around him.
The way he went down, that's concerning. I mean, the body is completely limp. Seems to be moving a little bit.
Hey, you guys know what number you are?
Very good sign there. 1:49 left in this game. Carolina looks like they just extended the lead to 11-7. As we're going to have a stoppage in this game here as Trenton Wiley still on the ground. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1:49 left in this fourth quarter. Carolina looks like they just took an 11-7 lead. We're going to take a quick break as Trenton Wiley remains on the field. As we hope for the best, our trainers assisting him now. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be on the other side, hopefully with updates on Trenton Wiley as well as the remainder of this final 1:49 of this game. Again, Carolina leading 11-7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bluff Roads Field at the University of South Carolina. We're about to get right back to our game action before we even do any kind of highlight, any kind of recap here as we get set for action. Looks like we're about to have a face-off at the end of that Trenton Wiley goal. Trenton is okay. He did get up off the field. He did sit up. He's currently being treated by our trainers here at the University of South Carolina. He's in good hands, but I did want to let everybody know at home he is doing okay. Got up, got off the field, walked off with some assistance from our trainers. The goal did count, and on the other end of it, we have a penalty. It's going to be a 3-minute non-releasable against number 19, Cameron Strickler, the senior from Tampa, Florida. Minute 49 left. That goal extends the Carolina lead to 11-7.
And I think the biggest thing, the most important thing right now is Carolina.
What are you going to do?
We've seen them in times with their penalties and everything. They are an aggressive team. They want to defend their teammate right now, but they're winning the game right now.
Wiley now with 2 goals and 2 assists on the day. As Carolina will win this face-off, it was Will Fritz, Sam Weiss will control. As we're now at the minute 30 mark. 90 seconds left in this game. Carolina leading 11-7 as Riley a long-range pass for Gunnar Wilson. Excuse me, that's Connor Griffin, who's got 2 goals and 2 assists on the, or 2 goals, excuse me. Wiley also has 2 goals, so I was wrong on that stat line. Pat Riley has 2 goals and 2 assists. That was Ryan Vermeulen bearing his 2nd goal of the afternoon and extending the Carolina lead now to 12-7. Minute 12 left in this game. Carolina with a little bit of insurance here towards the end of this one.
A little bit of insurance, and they're going to stay man up the rest of the time. I mean, that's exactly what the Gamecocks need to do. Put the ball in the back of the net while man up for the next, minute 12. But that's the remainder of this game, so they're going to be up the rest of the time. So really killing them for Florida State, who's really on the run.
5-goal lead. Frith will go back out there for the face-off. Gehring will come away with it, though. Here's a quick shot. No backup. And Bucky Donovan for Carolina will win the run-out. And now Carolina will look to clear. We are under a minute here from Columbia, South Carolina. Carolina leading 12-7. And now clearing through midfield.
50 seconds! 50
Chris
seconds!
Greenberg from the will take that long-range pass. Trying to skip it now for Johnny Stanton. Ball almost went out of play. Stanton with a diving attempt. Keeps it in play.
40
Ball
seconds
still
remaining!
On the ground. Now Florida State will come up with it as we're now under 40 seconds. Florida State will now clear. We'll try to put something together
30
here.
seconds!
Let's go.
Pass inside. Ryan Fargerhor will come up with the ground ball as that pass did not find its mark right in front of the cage.
20 seconds
left now. Here's Alex Gerdak.
20 seconds. 17 seconds right now.
As Florida State and Carolina
What up, Lucas?
will both be all 4
10,
next week.
9,
Both will play
8,
Georgia.
7, 6,
Yes, both will be all 4
5,
next week.
4,
will be
3,
next week.
2, 1.
Comes up with that ground ball. And the whistle sounds for the end of this game. Carolina with the win, 12-7. They will be home next weekend to take on Georgia, the number 18 ranked team in the country. Next Friday night, and then Saturday, Carolina will host West Virginia. As for Florida State, they will head to Georgia Tech, who's currently ranked as the 8th team in the country, to Georgia Tech to take on the Yellow Jackets next Saturday.
And yeah, Ryan, I mean, good game by South Carolina. Not the best they've played, but Florida State just starting too slow, picking it up too late, and then that penalty, I mean, that really cost it in the end. They could have made some good runs. Obviously had a late face-off win there. They're down 3. Who knows how that goes, but that late hit, down by 4, really put it away for the Gamecocks.
Carolina with the 12-7 win, and for everyone who's still watching and listening, we've got Trenton Wiley behind us, standing up, talking to our trainers, talking to some coaches. Looks like he's doing okay, so that is obviously great to see as we wrap up this game and wrap up this broadcast. The South Carolina Gamecocks getting their 2nd consecutive win here at Bluff Roads Fields. 12-7 is the final score. Second straight. We'll have a week off, hoping to turn assuming this game back on Friday. Georgia will be back into town, and then West Virginia the following afternoon. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be with you for the next one. Have a great rest of your day and great rest of your night.